Hello, chess fans. This is Comprehensive Chess out of Southern New Hampshire. Uh, Making a short video today. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I feel is a subject that no one really talks about that much. And maybe I'm completely wrong on that, but it's something that I view should be talked about. I think it's something that is starting to be brought up a little bit in the tennis world and other places, but I think that in the chess world, it doesn't make as much sense as it does, say, in the tennis world. So I want to talk a little bit about the gender inequality in the chess world. Now, in tennis, there's the women's division and the men's division and separate ranking systems, same with golf. And the theory is that men have the potential to be a bit stronger. They are going to be able to hit the ball faster. And this is proven by serve speeds and some other things that, I know McEnroe got in trouble a little bit for talking about Venus Williams, I believe, or Serena, one of them, I don't remember, and talking about how they would be like 180th in the world or something like that if they were in the men's division. And of course, they're one of the number one in the women's division. So, okay, there's some theory to that. I'm not going to go too far into if I completely agree with it. I think that you can say that there is a potential reason for it or potential theory behind it, and then you can kind of determine if you agree with it or not. But I will say this. So when it comes to chess, I don't see how there should be a distinction between women's PM, women's IM, and regular titles. I think that the titles should be across the board the same. I don't think it makes any sense to separate based on that, because I don't see how men are smarter than women. I don't see how men are more in tune with chess than women are. There are good chess players that are women. There are less of them, but much like NASCAR drivers, maybe it's because less of them are interested in it as opposed to having less aptitude for it is, I think, a valid argument. So I don't see how it helps to separate. And I think that by separating like that, there's an underlying theme. There's an underlying theme, and that underlying theme basically is that they can't achieve the same things, or they need separate distinctions because they can't get to that level. Or, I don't know. It's all very implied, but I don't think it's healthy. I understand making it more for women to get into the sport, but if they're at that level, I think they've already made their choice. I don't think that we have to push them and say, oh, if we raise the bar, you're going to have less women playing. I think if they're already at that level and they're trying to become a WGM or WIM, I think they've already made some choices on the fact that they like the sport and they're interested in it and they want to go far in it. And I don't think any of this is going to matter. So my question is, why not just eliminate it entirely? Now, that being said, you could say the same thing about age, but the mind and your processes do develop based on your age. Your processes in a 9-year-old are different than a 12-year-old, and although you can have advanced students at 9, 8, 7, etc., you can say that physiologically there's a huge difference between an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old and a 16-year-old to a 10-year-old. So that all makes sense. But this whole women to men, men to women separating thing doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I don't think they should separate it. I don't think there should be a women's junior championship. I think that's silly. I think that they should have a junior championship and that's it. Don't separate based on gender. Only separate based on things that are covered in facts. Age is a physiological fact that you are in different development processes depending on your age. That all makes sense to me. Don't do things and don't separate people based on things that don't matter. I mean, I will probably get a lot of flack for the next statement that I say, but what is the difference between having a WGM title and having AGM title and having it be Arab Grandmaster title, stating that, to be an Arab GM, maybe you have to be 300 points less than a normal GM title because they're giving you some dues. It's completely wrong, and WGMs are completely wrong. It's a completely wrong concept that is not doing anything positive for the equality of people. And I think that is implied, and it's there, and you see a WIM title, and the first thing you think of when you see it is, why not this IM? Why WIM? Oh, or somebody says, oh, did you know that the ratings are a little different? I don't think any of that's needed. So it's a quick video today. I just want to throw that out there. I really want to start a conversation about this. Feel free to email at officialcomprehensivechess@gmail.com. Leave comments on either Facebook or on the YouTube site. I really want to start a conversation about this, at least in this area, and see how far we can take it. I think that it's something that is not discussed enough, and it should be. Some physical sports can make a physiological claim. Chess can't, and I think that we as a group should be above this and eliminate this and decide that it's a silly partition that isn't necessary. And to say that, oh, maybe they entered the sport late or whatever, I don't care about any of that. I think that doesn't matter because 50 or 100 years ago, you didn't have databases, you didn't have the internet, you didn't have the tools, the books, training, coaches. You just didn't have things the way that it is now. So, yeah, they haven't been playing it for as long, but they're playing in the modern era, and clearly from IFN and some other players that they have adapted well enough and have done well enough that you don't need. So that's the video today. Add some comments. Let me know what you think. That's my opinion. I'm sure it's going to get some flack, but I don't care. I think it needs to be talked about. So let me know what you think, and there'll be more tests coming. Stay breezy.